An unbelievable car theft involving a 14-month-old baby. This is one of many homes that look just like this. What they told us, they've last seen this man here 5 minutes ago. Here's a fourth police officer. They're swarming this area. Almost 6 a.m., but we just lost power right now. And did you hear that bang? As soon as sirens started sounding off, Smith Station residents ran to the bathrooms for safety. That tornado was part of the system that moved through our area earlier today. Brittany McManus relied on our Facebook Live video to see the destruction happening here in Biloxi, Mississippi, only to find out her home Reliance was washed ashore in the storm. Sign says speed limit 30, but residents who call this straight home say that's never the case. I say sorry?
We'll discuss it later.
Stealing some taxpayer dollars? Hundreds of thousands? Yeah. People want to know if it's true that James Blackman took $100,000 to build a house.
As a media relations person, no questions besides what's on this table are going to be asked nor answered.
Okay, we start getting viewers asking us.
It's
they
okay.
Say they want transparency, they want answers. And so
that's very good.
We have to ask.
You can ask, but that's not what this is for.
Okay, when will those questions be addressed? We're seeing 2 cars here, but this is the second day we've come and knocked on the door and no one's answered. We saw with the fire, we saw things happen, but these are buses that are inspected monthly.
Right.
What do you think happens?
I honestly can't tell you what happened. But
your business is online for having a fake review?
Who?
Breaking news, a Mobile police officer is in the hospital today. A driver hit his patrol car head on. A 9-year-old shot in the shoulder right by the interstate. Orange, Texas, a city no longer accessible by land. A community fighting to make it to this makeshift shelter under an overpass on I-10.
I never would have dreamed that a day later we'd be like Houston.
Deborah Belcher, just one of hundreds here with nowhere to go and no way to get there.
The wheelchair's in my truck, couldn't get to it, and the walker, we just forgot, just hopped in the boat and with assistance.
No shoes, no medication, but grateful to be with her loved ones. For others, there's anticipation and anxiety about when they'll see their babies next.
I can't wait to get to them. I can't wait to get to them.
We were drawn to Brooke after seeing her standing alone in her pajamas.
It's awful. It's awful.
You're shaking.
I've been shaking since 3 o'clock this morning. Just praying that, I just kept praying that it would stop. It just kept raining, and I just kept praying that it would stop.
But as the rain continues to fall, the boats keep coming in. Family after family, pet after pet, lost with nothing but their loved ones, friends, and faith.
But it'll be okay. God's there, God will help, and I got his strength.
Statements in this letter prompted us to head into the shelter at 10:45 this morning. Kennel workers throwing dog food on floors covered in feces and urine, a German Shepherd cowering in fear, bleeding. We didn't even make it to the front door of this public facility before we were stopped.
You have to talk to Charlotte first.
Charlotte is Charlotte Solis, the Mobile Police Department's public information officer. We sent her the letter and she said she would follow up right away. 11:40, an hour after arriving, Solis called back to say the department would send us information, but we couldn't go in. We then went to the mayor.
There is absolutely no reason that you should not have access, and obviously you just told me the story just a moment ago, and that's the first I've heard of it, but you will have access. And if we've got inhumane conditions there, you can be rest assured we will address that also.
We headed straight back to the shelter where we found the chief of police and several officers waiting for us. At 1:05, the chief escorted us through the facility. We saw freshly clean conditions, no food thrown in bowls or the kennel floor, and no feces or urine visible on floors. We're here 3 hours later. Was that time used to clean up or change the conditions that the person was complaining about yesterday?
Well, I mean, if we're talking about yesterday, you have to think about overnight. Was that enough time for somebody to clean up or so?
Surveillance video captures about 2 hours on the morning of Friday the 18th. In these 2 hours, we see police just feet away from Marco Perez, so close to catching the man they say killed their own officer Sean Tudor just 2 days later. Surveillance video captures Marco Perez entering and leaving Cynthia Smith's house in about a 2-hour period Friday, January 18th. 2 hours. Smith had no idea until she watched these videos later.
So for 2 hours, this kid was in my house. 2 hours. I'm getting ready for work. And this kid is in my house.
Surveillance first captures Perez at 8:40 a.m. He's there in the same red hoodie he was wearing the day before, walking past Smith's car into her carport. Video doesn't show how he got inside. Smith thinks there was an unlocked door. She never heard a thing. Neither did her 2 sons who were at home at the time. The family dog never barked either. We can't see inside, but Smith's teenage son Aiden says Perez crept into his room while he was sleeping. He woke up to find his friend standing over his bed.
He said, you know, when you get that creepy feeling that someone's, staring at you while you're sleeping, that's what he felt. And he woke up and Marco was here. I was like, dude, you got to leave. Get out of my house. And he's rolled over and back to sleep. We're like, why didn't you make sure he left? He's like, because I told him to leave.
Aiden went back to sleep because he was suspended from school. His mom went to work, taking her youngest son with her. Around 10:45, surveillance footage shows 3 Mobile police officers searching for Perez outside of Smith's house. Every door, gate, and entrance. Once again, they were tracking his cell phone and activity on social media. Since Aiden was sleeping and Smith had left for work, no one was there to answer the door. The officers had no idea they were just feet away from the man who would later allegedly murder one of their own.
I wish they would have known that he was here inside, break down the doors, come get him, whatever it took. Maybe that, it took place on Sunday, maybe that would have never happened.
You see the officers walk around the home for about 5 minutes. 10:49, the 3 officers start walking away to their cars. A couple minutes later, you see their cars circle the cul-de-sac and leave. Right around the time Smith's son woke up again.
And then he woke up a little while later, Marco's still here. So he's like, dude, seriously, turn yourself in, get out of my house, but you've got to leave. You got to go. And so at that point in time, that's when Marco left.
2 minutes after the police cars drive away, you see Marco in red leaving and hopping a fence.
Police are right out there.
I know. It's like it was like just like they were, one just little inch ahead.
Smith only found out Perez was in her home that day when police contacted her hours later. Watching this video over and over again as her family works with detectives, as she showed it to us, Smith can't help but get emotional thinking about what could have happened had she known Perez was there. Tonight at 6, we tap into those emotions.
Doesn't look like any pig I've ever seen.
Is it a hog or a dog? Anthony Myers thinks he's been duped by his game go-to guy.
Pretty gross, pretty gross.
It's a gruesome, unexpected sight Myers opened up the other day. He says he ordered a pig from Clinton James for his yearly Joe Cane Day cookout.
He'd been treating me right over the last few years. Yeah. But the more I thought about it, the more I kept looking at this animal, I'm saying to myself, that's not a pig.
So when James asked Myers to pay up, he said he'll pass.
I told him, no, I wasn't going to pay him for it. He could take it back. And then he pulled out a pistol and threatened me for $40.
Myers called the police, who put James in cuffs and arrested him for robbery. A sigh of relief for this victim, but as a dog owner and lover, he still wants answers.
And I'm really curious to see what this animal is.
So I took pictures to the Parkway Animal Hospital.
Doesn't look like a pig to me.
Then brought Myers and the mystery meat to meet the doctor.
That's just too strange for me.
Dr. David Martin says the size of the body, its build, and lack of hair or feet leads him to believe it's not a hog.
It looks a little malnourished. I mean, seeing the rib cage and everything. I mean, I can't say 100% that it's a dog, but in my opinion, it looks closer to a dog than a pig to me.
Oh, you doggone weird.